Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Life as an Immigrant. Today on the show, we have with us Pinal Patel. Pinal has civil engineering technology degree from both the Patel College of Engineering in India and in SAIT, Calgary, Alberta. He also has a postgraduate diploma in international trade management from St. Clair College, Windsor in Ontario. He has varying experiences in the engineering, sales, and hospitality industry, and he currently works as a field technician with All North Consultant. Pina, how are you doing today?
Doing good. How about you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for coming on the show and discussing things that pertain to immigrants with us. So let's do a quick dive in right off the bat. Just tell us, why did you decide to migrate?
First of all, like when I look at the website of the immigration to Canada, like it gives me some hint, like it has a more opportunity for the like skilled people, especially in engineering field in Alberta, because at that time when I researched it, oil industry was booming and there are plenty of jobs related to engineering, especially like civil engineering, petrochemical, mechanical, and those kind of stuff. And I got to know that one of my colleague was applying for it and he got approved, and the process was easy enough to get into it at that time. So that's why I decided let me try it and get some uh, international work experience, as well as that it gives me an opportunity to like go abroad and settle down out of the country where I was born. So that's why I decided to apply at the time.
Interesting, Pina. Did you think about the fact that Canada is this cold, or that didn't play any part in your decision?
No, to be honest, because the thing is that, like, yeah, like when I talked to a couple of people, they said, "Oh, yeah, their relatives were there, and the place is so cold." But at that point, like, I thought that okay, if it is cold, but isn't it that cold that nobody can survive over there? Like, I saw that there are more than like 300 million, 30 million people are living in Canada already. So I thought that if they can survive, then I can also go there and survive, because I am also the human being. That's what the thought that I do have it. So I didn't like take any comments negatively. I took it in a positive way and just curious to try that kind of weather. That's why I came over here. And as I am from India, so in India, we have different regions with the diverse climatic conditions. So in the northern part of India, like they do have minus 20-degree temperature, they do have snowfall and everything.
Oh, really?
Where I came from, I'm western part of India, so they do have the, like, it's a desert area, so it does have like plus for like in the summertime, it's very hot and humid. So plus 40 is a normal thing over there. So I'm okay with the changes in the very climatic conditions and everything. But yeah, as I told you that when I search about the Canada is like more welcoming and immigrant friendly country. And I heard that like people are very polite over here. They are not racist as compared to other parts of the world. And they are welcoming people politely and friendly nature. And you can have a opportunity and you can climb the ladder if you have right skill and if you prove your skills. So that's why I decided to come over here.
So that already answered my next question. What was your expectation? So you expected that, okay, we're going to be friendly people, there are going to be jobs, and then things were going to work like based on your own idea of how things should be and your perception of the country as a whole. So after 1 month, after you landed and then 1 month period, what was your impression? What were your thoughts at that point, if you can remember?
Well, to be honest, after coming to over here, I was like a newborn baby. Because first of all, when I came over here, like I don't have a like I do have driver's license, but I used to drive a two-wheeler over there. I don't have the driving experience of the four-wheeler at back home. So when I came over here, I was started struggling with like, okay, I need to go for a driver's license. First of all, when I landed, or I remember the day, like I landed in the month of January, and when I was walking on the streets, like everything is like it's covered with the snow, and nobody is I couldn't see and anybody look around. And I do have problem like I was a feeling that am I in the ghost town or what? Like, is it the country
Hey,
that I was
hold on,
expecting? Because,
Pina, I'm trying to understand. Do you mean that there was nobody on the street? So you were wondering where everybody was? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, because the thing is that when I'm coming from a crowded country, so you can like
Yeah.
literally people, you can see the people, they are full of crowd everywhere, and people are, it's so that crowded that people are
Mhm.
like hitting with each other sometimes, not intentionally though,
Yeah.
but so the from
You
the
run into
people
people.
from the country which has a 1.3 billion population and coming to the country where they have a 30 million population, and the size of the area is like 4 times bigger than what my place is, like my country is. So it's
Yeah.
totally a different scenario.
Yeah.
You
So
know
you're
what I mean?
wondering, where's
And
everybody?
yeah, where is everybody? And then after, when I was walking on the street and I asked someone for the help, like, okay, give me, okay, I want to buy a bus pass so I can travel within the city, right?
Mhm.
So that person gives me direction. Okay, go north, then after go towards the east, and then after take a bus from the south. And I said, okay, what
What?
are you talking about? I couldn't understand the way that you are explaining me. The second that on the next day, like, I went to the mobile shop, and the
Yeah.
mobile shop, I want to buy a cell phone for me so I can like
Mhm.
start communicating with the people, right? So I went over there, I saw them my documents, and they are okay with that, and they were telling me, okay, what kind of plan would you want? Would you like to have tab, or would you like to have like prepaid? I said, okay, explain me what is that, because I don't know what is this.
Yeah.
And then after they told me that, okay, at that time the telephoning is so costly, like
Mhm.
they were telling me that you have, if you want to have add-on like more number display, or let's say you have person's name on a display who is calling
Mhm.
to you, you have to pay additional for that. The
And you're
internet
like,
was expensive.
what?
So yes, at that time it was like that. And they, like, I choose to have $30 plan, which was very cheap, like, though it's expensive for me, but it's the cheapest one with that what
Mhm.
is available at that time.
Yeah.
And they were telling me, okay, you have 100 minutes to talk for outgoing, and you have unlimited calling after 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning. And they will gonna charge you for each messages that you will receive. International text messaging are not allowed, but in a like limited numbers and something like
Mhm.
that. And I just do have 2 gig of data. And I was like, when I was like, when you came over here, you always compare your currency, and you are just comparing the
Absolutely.
price for
Yeah.
everything. So
Everything.
when I went to, like, same thing happens for me, like for a couple of months, like I was in a trauma, like how much amount of money that I am spending
Who's
over here.
spending?
Because when I came over here, like I took $10,000, which is almost my saving for 5 years of my work,
Wow.
and $10,001 were disappeared within 4 months over here.
Yeah. And then you're wondering, what is this?
It's exactly, because when I went to have a packet of bread, like it's a $2 or something,
Mhm.
and when I'm converting, I was always wondering, oh, from for this much amount of money, maybe I do have 10 packets of bread with the same size in my back home. That's kind of mentality it is. When
You
I
know,
bought a
you
bus
know
pass
what,
for
Pina,
$80.
it's gonna drive anybody crazy. That's what I say to newcomers every time. Please, I know it's difficult, but don't convert. If you convert to your local home currency, you're gonna just go nuts. Because every time you're like, oh my God, how much am I buying a cup of coffee? How much am I buying,
It's tough for you to adopt this condition, right? Because as I told you that I was like a newborn baby, and the thing is that nobody is there from my family whom I know who can help me out, or who can guide me in this country.
Yeah.
Like, so the thing is that I'm the first person who is coming to this country by myself and try to establish myself. So
Yeah.
at that point, like, it was very difficult. Like, I don't have the person whom I can ask for help, and what should I have to do and what not to do,
Yeah.
because nobody has a time in this country to. If you
Everybody's
ask for
busy, right?
someone, if you find someone who might be from your country, but that person is so busy in their own work, they might not gonna able to spend time to just give you guidance. So you are on your own.
Hmm. So how long have you
Like
been in Canada now?
uh it's been 9 years now.
9 years. You know what they say that hindsight 2020, right? It's perfect
Yeah.
eyesight. Now that you've been here for 9 years, if like think back, what do you think you could have done to better prepare yourself
Well,
this
to be
journey?
honest, well, the thing is that I should have to like research more. And the thing is that I did have struggle because maybe you can say that I don't have internet access back home in India until like at that time. So I cannot do more research about Canada. Nowadays, people do have more resources, so they can actually know what's exactly they have to do and what not to do. And at that time, like to be honest, I can share you that thing. Like my first ever smartphone that I bought in my life is after coming to Canada,
Wow.
because I
Yeah.
was just using the keypad one and which was
Yeah.
fine over there. Like I was not exposed to 4G internet services back home when
Mm-hmm.
I was there. And the
Mm-hmm.
internet services that was there, it's expensive, which I couldn't able to afford at that time.
At that time,
So
yeah.
yeah, so that's the thing which which should have like what I'm thinking is if I spend money at that time and I did proper research, it would be a different. I will be in a different scenario because at
Yeah.
least I can have enough information or what to do and what not to do. Maybe I will gonna postpone my plan for a couple of more years and I can have
Yeah.
some more money,
Mm-hmm.
bring it over here so I can do more things. Or maybe like let's say I told you that example that I don't have the driver's license, but if I do have
Mm-hmm.
information, I might get the driver's license from the back home so I can start driving once I'll be over here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it will gonna
Absolutely.
reduce my efforts by searching for things and going for groceries in the buses, and like it's nothing but the wastage of time, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Whenever you were
Absolutely.
looking for the job, sometimes you couldn't able to accept the job even though they want to offer you because of the traveling time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how long did it take you
And
to be
then
able to drive, though?
2 years, to be honest,
Two
because
years.
the
Wow.
4 years, 4 years, not 2 years.
Four.
Because what happened? 4 years, yeah. Because when you don't have like any past history from your back home, like
Mm-hmm.
they want you to stay over here for like after getting learners, you have to wait for 1 year.
1 year.
And
Yeah.
that's what the stupidest thing that I found in this country, because I know the rules are for people who are below 18. It works for them, but why don't you give a leverage to the immigrants who are already mature enough? Why should they have to wait for 1 year?
Yeah, but you said you have 4 years. So how, I'm just trying to do the maths here. So you did
Yes,
your learners and then you had to wait 1 year?
yes, but the thing is that like as I told you that I don't have the information and I was converting money everything, and my
Yeah.
savings whatever I do have it disappear within the 4 months. After 4 months, like I was just doing a job, and the thing is that my mind is like that, like now I don't have any resources, so I need to, because when I thought that after 4 months people are suggesting okay get a car, when I calculate everything like about the cost of owning the car,
Yeah.
it's
It's a
way
lot.
much expensive. So I need to save money first to get the car. And the thing is
Yeah.
that my mind like to over here people are living life on the credits, like they are not afraid to get borrow money.
No, no, no.
But
I mean, it's credit card, right? So that's what
yeah,
you need.
so
But you
from
didn't
the
do that.
culture where I am coming, like I
No,
never did borrow money from
no.
anywhere
Your parents
because the
tell
interest
you
rates are very,
you must never
yeah,
borrow
the interest
money.
rates are so high, right? So
Yeah.
that's the reason that I was afraid to borrow money, and that's the thing that was the contributing factor which took me long to get the
Hmm.
driver's license. And another thing, like even though I took lessons like 4 or 6 hours, but though I didn't have the driver's experience, like it's tough for me to
Yeah.
pass the driver's exam. because nobody is giving me car to have
Yeah.
a more practice.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
I
even
understand that.
I bought a car before getting a license. Nobody wants to sit down along with me, though I was a new learner driver. And I couldn't
Okay.
able to
Yeah.
afford, to pay a $40 for every hour for the instructor
To
to
sit
just
with you.
sit
Yeah.
down along with me.
Yeah. So,
That's the
oh,
thing
absolutely.
that's the things which I found very terrible, and it's extending my getting a driver's license. And one more contributing factor that I forgot to tell you, like I didn't know that once you change the province, you have to recount the timing. Like I got my first learners from Ontario, and then
Mm-hmm.
after I decided to move from Ontario, so when I moved to Saskatchewan, they didn't count the whatever time that I have spent over there in Ontario. I have to restart my 1 year
From the
timing
scratch.
after from the scratch. And I
Wow.
didn't know that this is the difference in the rules in this country. Like each province is playing on their own field. Like they do have
Yeah.
their own rules and regulations and everything.
Yeah.
Because as an immigrant, how could you know that
How
thing,
do you know?
right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
So
it's the challenges, right? Information.
yeah,
How do you know? Where do you get the information from? Who's going to tell you? Do you Some people are lucky, they know that we have these non-governmental agencies that help immigrants, but there's so many things that you have to contend with. How many questions are you going to
yeah,
ask them, right? I mean,
yeah.
nobody's
And the
going to
thing is
ask
that
an agency, oh, will I have to transfer my driving from one province to the other? It's not likely to be a question
and
that will
sometimes
come
the
up.
agencies are doesn't know that things because
They
they
didn't know
might
too.
the people who are working in the agencies, maybe they didn't change the province in the throughout life.
True. Some of them have been in the same province since they were born, right?
Yeah. So the problem is like, see, I after getting my learner's license, I stayed over here there in Ontario for 9 months, and after that, once I changed province, and they says you have to wait for 1 more year, dear. You don't have
Yeah.
any choices. Though you are not resident of Ontario. I said I'm the resident of Canada. They
Canada.
say no,
No.
no, no, no. It's a different thing.
Oh my God. Yeah,
So
those are the
after that
challenges.
one more year, that's the thing that add on 1 more year, because now I cannot even like go back to Ontario, go back and to just get my license, because I move all the way down there and it
Yeah.
cost me a lot.
Yeah. So you're not going to move back for because of 3 months, right?
Yeah. So I have to just wait for
Absolutely.
1 more year again.
Yeah, I know. Okay, let's move on to something else. Let's talk about job hunting. How was that for you?
Well, people are telling me to try for job placement agencies, workopolis, and everything. But though you are new and you don't have experience, it's tough. So I started my job in food industry in
Mm-hmm.
taco time. And the thing is that like in Ontario, that maybe you know about this thing or not, but what my worst experience is, like if like the sometimes the people from who were immigrant before and they are owning the food restaurants and everything, they might gonna offer you the job, but they want you to do work for 15 days or 1 month as a part of training for a free.
Really?
Yes, they exploit the people, and
Oh my God.
I had my exploitation.
Wow. So they ask you to work for free to
Yes,
learn?
as a part of training.
But that's illegal.
I totally understand, but I didn't know that thing
Oh my
at that
word.
time because I was new over here, and you know, when you lose the money, whatever you have, like lose means like all the money were gone
Yeah,
within
it's gone. Yeah.
3 to 4
You just
months,
want to
right?
earn. You just want to earn something.
I just want to earn. And people are gonna douse your confidence because without money you will automatically start losing your confidence because
Absolutely.
yeah. So that's what's happened. And no matter how I have started working, after 15 days, he has started giving me pay and everything and hours too. So eventually I have started saving some money and paying my outstanding bills and everything. And then after I even ended up working over there. But the problem is like I was working as an engineer, and this journey, like within those 4 years, like I almost forgot most of the things of a civil engineering, like
Absolutely.
whatever I did study, because if you are not using your
Yeah, you're
knowledge
not practicing,
regularly,
right?
yeah, right. And I was just end up what doing just a labor job in a food industry,
Yeah.
and I couldn't able to see any room to escape from there. Or the thing is that I want to go for study, but when I apply for study, like to transfer my credential, educations, and everything,
Mm-hmm.
they want my university to send documents directly over there and
Yeah.
get my world education world education to transfer.
Yeah.
So I held that process, but that process took so long, like almost 1.5 years for me to
Yeah.
complete that process.
Is it
And the
because,
thing
sorry,
is
is
that
it because I know usually for immigrants, the challenge is that the universities back home sometimes don't respond on time, right? They
that's
don't
what
send the
happens to me.
transcript, they don't send the certificate, so that
Nothing.
drags.
Because over here they think that, oh, if they are working efficiently, it means like the whole all universities all around the world are working like the same way, but what they are working, but it's not.
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear
And
because I know that it's always a conversation with immigrants. Once you want to transfer your results, or you just want accreditation, for West, as it were, or I think there are so many bodies that do it, but particularly for engineers West, even for your
yeah,
PEGA, you need them to
yeah,
verify your certificate. And then because
yeah,
universities back home don't respond on time, it takes forever. And sometimes
that's what
people
happens
lose
to me.
opportunities.
It took me 2 more years
Oh my
to
God.
just get my WES. And once I get WES, when I apply to SAIT, they says, oh, you have been graduated from 6 years before, so you need to go for an IELTS, because the IELTS that I gave it when I became an immigrant, that's a general category. For
Mhm.
academic purpose, I need to go back again. But as
To
I
do that.
was like out of the school for 6 to 7 years, and I didn't touch the pen or paper, like it was difficult for me to manage my time while I
Mhm.
was doing a job, as well as just focus
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
process of getting into the school. After completing my school, and like after completing that process, like I
Mhm.
got to know that, oh, there is an 8 months waiting period. So if I apply over here right now, I might gonna be enrolled for the next semester, because the process, that's how the process is starting, right? For
Mhm.
the, let's say for the September intake, people are
Yeah,
starting applying in the month of January, so they
absolutely.
can be acceptable by the school. So
Mhm.
when I applied for that, like I applied for NEET and SAT both. And I luckily got answer earlier from SAT. That's why I choose to be going to the SAT. And after
Okay,
a couple of weeks, I got accepted by NEET as well. But I declined that thing because I already paid the fees and
accepted.
everything to the SAT.
Mhm. So did that make a
It was,
difference, bro? Like having that degree or that certificate from SAT, did it make a difference in your job hunt?
oh yeah,
That's another conversation we have with immigrants. We know that a lot of people feel like more of the companies want you to have a degree in a Canadian school for them to,
the thing
I
is
don't
that
know. So what's your
if
own
like
experience?
mm, as I well, that in my case, like it's not like I was not applying for the job while I was doing a labor job or anything. Like though I know that I have a pretty much knowledge about working as a civil engineer, I was keep on applying for the stuff, and I was not getting any response.
Mm,
But once I got graduated from SAIT, like what my first impression is, like when I applied for the jobs, the resume goes to the HR people, right?
yeah,
And HR people
human
does
resources.
doesn't know about the foreign country's education system or the college reputation or the quality of education that you got it, or whether
Mhm.
they might do have problem of verifying the knowledge whether it's legit or not.
Yeah,
But when you say like you have a Canadian education, then they know,
they can
okay, this
relate
is
with
the
that. Yeah.
this is the university or college that you have went there, and if you get passed out from there, because then you might have those qualities and skills that they are required, that they need it, because they might have even hired similar people from the same institute in the past, or maybe they are
Yeah, and they
the
were able to deliver, right?
alumni alumni for the same school or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes a huge difference. So that's what I feel it, because once I graduated, I started applying for the job, and within the couple of months, I guess, I got 4 interviews from different
Wow.
companies.
Yeah.
And the company that I choose it, the HR guy has told me they decided to contact me for an interview just because I was a recently graduated from SAIT.
Say it. Yeah.
So that's the thing which makes a huge difference when you have a credential from Canadian universities or colleges.
Yeah.
You might gonna get a call from HR people, because the people whom you will gonna work in the future, they are the like project managers and supervisors, and those
Yeah. The
people,
construction
they
guys.
might gonna understand your abilities, but the HR people doesn't know what your ability is. They will just gonna decide to call you or not just from your
Yeah.
resume.
Yeah. Okay, I hear you. So what we're saying is, like, when the resumes are put out there and they're looking, they're filtering through, it would appear that once they can see a Canadian education, there is this comfort that, okay, this person at least have an idea of what the work should be about. So they don't really take time to read the other things you've done. So that's like a screening face. So they just put all the Canadians, oh yeah, you went to school here, so that makes sense. Then the construction guys are the one that will actually take time to look through your skill set. What have you done in the past? And then, but if you don't make it to the first phase of interview, that's it.
That's
Right?
it. Because after first phase, like you might have interview with your team lead and project managers, and then after they will gonna like decide, okay, in which department you will gonna work, because they might gonna ask you about your preferences and everything, and your past experience and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So same thing happens to me. First, I do have an interview with the HR guy. Once he forwarded my information to my project manager, then I take call the project manager has called me and scheduled an interview with him, and he went in brief about my work experience, and at that point he got to know, okay, what exactly I know and
Yeah,
what
your
I
capabilities.
did in
Absolutely.
the past, right? So from my that conversation, he has offered me 2 things: whether I want to work in the field, especially in a material testing, or would I want to work in the lab. And I told him that though I do have experience for both, if you want, I can get work on both fronts. So initially he told me, okay, you can work in the lab, and then after we will gonna put you in the field as well.
Yeah.
And now, like, they so that because they got the person who do have a both kind of experience working in the field and working in the lab. So it's a good thing for them, because
Yeah.
they can have a more flexibility now. Whenever they need me, they can shift me either
Yeah,
from the field to
absolutely.
lab or from lab to field, and that's what they are doing right now.
Yeah, absolutely. But you need that foot in the door, right? It's important.
Yeah,
If you don't
exactly.
get it,
Because
yeah.
yeah, that's the thing. And the thing is that though I do have working experience and I'm doing the same thing, like I'm playing with the same apparatus in the lab or doing the same thing in the field, whatever
Yeah.
I was doing, and though I am a mature enough to understand the necessity of the things, like they put me aside from the other candidates, because most of the people whom they have hired, either they are switching the jobs and they are not mature enough about the understanding the purpose of the thing that we are doing, or maybe they want to plan for you going back to university, and their
Yeah.
kids, like they are below the age of 25.
Absolutely.
So
I mean that's, and those are the advantages, or the pros and the goodness that the immigrants bring to the team, right? Because we know
exactly.
that the maturity is there, and then you can focus on your work. You know what to do. You don't need to be pushed around. You don't need anyone telling you what to do. You're self-reliant. You know, yeah, you can play as a
Yeah.
team, but also you can work individually on your own, right? So
Yeah.
one other question, because we're really running out of time. It's been a very interesting conversation with you, Pina. So it's been 9 years and you've achieved a lot of stuff in that space of time. What is the one thing that really tops the list that you're most proud of?
Getting back to in a civil engineering field and working as a
Yeah.
civil engineer right now, because that's the thing that gives me more happiness, and that's the thing which I want to do while I was thinking to to come as an immigrant in this country, because when I
Yeah, that's the
decided to come
goal.
over here, I didn't think that I will gonna work as a laborer. I will just gonna go there and settle down and just earn more money.
Yeah,
Want
yeah.
to come over here as a civil engineer and work as a civil engineer.
Absolutely, absolutely. And
But the thing is
congratulations
that,
once again, Pina. It's so exciting that at least that goal has been achieved. You are a successful immigrant.
yes, thank you so much. So
Yeah.
the journey is bumpy, but eventually I able to do the things whatever I want to.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's the resilience, the doggedness, the grit that immigrants bring to the table. We keep going at it, we keep working at it until we achieve our goals. And that's the story right here. And thank you so much, Pina. We're really running out of time, but I have a feeling that we might have to do a part 2 of this interview because we have so much stories to share and so much things we can discuss about the life as an immigrant, what we go through, the challenges we face, the hurdles we have to scale, and to come out on the other side successful. It's not an easy journey. It's not for the lily-livered, but we keep pushing, right?
Yeah, yeah, every day.
Every
It's
day we get up,
every
we
day.
get, yeah, cool.
And we cannot
Thank,
escape from the responsibilities that we have at the back home due to our culture and everything. Like I do have to send, you have to like take care about your parents and everything because they don't have the system like pension and everything or medical system what we have over here. So if they
absolutely,
have some sort of problems and if they are stuck due to the financial restraint, you have to stay over there
yeah.
as well, even though you are not physically over there, but financially you have to be there.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. A lot of people are
And
counting
that,
on you. We are communal, right? We have uncles,
yeah.
we have aunties, we have great uncles, great grand aunties, cousins-in-law. It's a wide, big family life out back home, right? And being in Canada doesn't change those. People still need help, and we have to do what we can to make life easier for our
Sometimes
people.
we have to like cut down our costs and our wishes to just fulfill their basic necessities.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well done, Pina, and congratulations once again. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah.
That's all we
Thank
have
you so much.
time for today on this episode of Life as an Immigrant. I will see you next week. Thank you and bye.